Hi, I'm Extraayogurt and welcome back to another video. If you're new here, welcome, and if you're not new, then welcome back. And today we are going to be building in Sunwater, which is our CC-free small lot neighborhood. And that area you guys just saw me circling was basically like the little section of the neighborhood that I use for my tutorial videos. So just kind of ignore that going on over there. But I've encountered some issues with South Valley City and my game in general. My game is starting to be slowly overrun by pink soup, which I feel like is like inevitable for everyone who has Sims 2. And I've tried a few different fixes, but ultimately I think I just need to get more RAM. But until then, we're just gonna work on Sunwater because South Valley City is so, like, there's so many lots. They're all huge. There's just so many things for the game to load that it has been consistently just crashing my game to even build in that neighborhood. So yeah, that's why today we're gonna be building in Sunwater. And I know I said this was meant to be for small lots, but it seems that I keep having that issue of like the size creep of my building. Like I use a 2x3 lot here, which is fairly small, but when you guys see me start to build, you'll notice that I use every square inch of this lot. So the build really ends up being not all that small. So yeah, I don't know. I'm really just feeling like I just want to start a whole new neighborhood and start over, but I have a bad habit of doing that, and I think that it leads me to just keep on deleting stuff rather than try to fix things and just make it better. And I don't want to keep doing that, so I'm gonna try not to start something new until the projects I have are done. But anyway, so this is going to be I believe a 4-bedroom 2.5 bath home, and I really wanted it to have a pool and a gazebo in the back, and I also wanted it to have this kind of sunroom. I wanted it to have everything that it could, even though we're working on a relatively small lot. So I think I utilize the space pretty well. It really shocks me sometimes how much you can fit on the smaller lots in this game, and it just reminds me to like whatever size lot I think I need, the chances are I can probably go smaller and still fit everything on it, because nowadays I'm really just trying to find ways that find ways to build that will be as easy on my game as possible. And these big lots are they're just something else. Even though they're so much fun to build, they're just something else for the game to load up. But hopefully when I upgrade my computer, I won't have these issues anymore, because I'm starting to get really scared that like my game is going to, I don't know, like we're gonna lose the neighborhood. And I have everything backed up, but I don't know, you never know. Anyway, so as you can see, I made a 2-story home with a garage, not on foundation, just on the first floor. And a few of you did actually say that you prefer houses that aren't on foundation, because I think it was like puppies and babies can enter the home easier, which I completely understand and I kind of took note of. So I try to add a little bit of variety in the way that I build here and there, take into consideration some of the things you guys say. So yeah. there is just something so comforting to me about building just a simple home, after I've spent so much time building really huge and ridiculous things. And that's part of why I really enjoyed this build. I went into it just trying to I guess build for fun and kind of relax, because the last build that I did took so much out of me with all the CC and like just the size and scope and like research that went into that lot. So yeah, I really just wanted to take a step back and just build casually and have some fun. So this build isn't quite as polished as I would have liked, but I didn't want to put too much thought into it. I just wanted to enjoy building in the game. I feel like I don't just play the game as much anymore. It's like every time I play the game, I just really want to build something instead of just playing. And I do actually miss playing. I just like, I get so obsessed and into like building something. So also, thank you so much to those of you that checked out the last video. I know it was super niche and strange for me to upload that or to build that, but some of you guys still checked it out, and that means so much to me. Yeah, thank you so much for checking that out. And I'm hoping to eventually stumble upon another big project that I really want to devote that kind of time to again. But for right now, I just want to slow down and build some smaller lots and just treat building as like a more of a relaxing thing than like something to research so hard and stress about. So yeah, anyway, I went with black windows on this home. I'm not sure why. I just felt like it was fitting because I wanted to do the dark cherry wood accents everywhere. And not that white windows would have looked bad. I don't know, I kind of like the dark roof with the dark windows with the dark wood all like going together. And then the fact that the sunroom is all black on the outside too, I feel like the black windows complemented that as well. So yeah, I just thought that looked really nice. And also I was thinking Sunwater has no community lots yet, and we need to work on that. And I was kind of thinking that I wanted to do like a custom neighborhood kind of starter pack where I build all the most basic community lots, like a grocery store, clothing store, somewhere for fun, maybe like a pool and a park, and things like that, and make them all like small and easy on your game, CC free, that people can download whenever they want to start a custom hood and they just need like all the basic stuff. Because I remember not when I first started playing, but like earlier into me playing The Sims 2, every time I would start a custom neighborhood, I would start with a sim and like they would have nowhere to go. I would always have to load up the downtown area for them to be able to go anywhere, and then it was all the same stuff all the time. And yeah, I just didn't want to spend that kind of time building community lots. I just wanted to play. So I would like to cater to people who have that kind of same experience. But yeah, I think that might be fun. So yeah, anyway, we are doing the pool's wall coverings now, and I decided to go with this very neutral kind of tan color. And I basically framed all of the tile around the pool with the concrete or like pavement kind of floor tile. And I always really like doing this. I feel like it makes it look a lot more finished, and I feel like you don't typically just see tile directly in the grass, so I feel like it also makes sense. I do end up changing the fence on the gazebo and the stairs because for some reason the dark cherry wood, it just started looking like really, really red to me, and it was clashing with the rest of the backyard. So I do eventually end up changing that to like this dark brown fencing and stairs. But yeah. All right, so let's talk about the stairs in this house. None of the modular stairs really were like fitting to me. So I decided to go with a pre-built staircase, which is a huge rarity for me. And this is something I forgot to include in my stairs tutorial, but you can actually remove the railings on pre-built stairs using the railing tool. I know a lot of you already knew this. I'm just now learning that you can do that. So that was really helpful to make it nice and make it blend in next to the wall, even though the railing would have gone straight through the wall. But when you cut away the walls, you don't have to see the railing sticking through like that. So that was a really cool thing that I learned. I forgot where I picked it up, probably from Tumblr or some YouTube video I had going, but yeah, I decided to make most of the, well, not most, but a portion of the upstairs open air, like open to the ground floor. And you guys will see later on, it actually ends up looking quite nice. Whenever I do two-story builds or two-story homes, I just hate when I have too much excess space upstairs, because pretty much usually upstairs it's just bedrooms and bathrooms, and you have like hallways or like a walkway to get there. I hate when I leave too much open space that is too small to make it into like another living room or something like that, but too big to actually for it to just be a hallway, if that makes sense. And you guys will see as we go on what I end up doing there. But yeah, I'm not in love with the layout, but I think that it works well for the size of the house. I feel like there's no wasted space, nothing's too small and nothing's too big. Well, the kitchen is pretty big, but I don't mind that actually. I feel like maybe a sim that's really into cooking could live here. But yeah, so here I am changing the gazebo, the gazebo's fencing and the floor coverings and the stairs and everything, and I feel like this looks so much better back here than what we had before with that really bright red wood. And I end up putting a little grill there and a little table, and it's really, really cute. It's more for just extra looks than anything else. I mean, but also your Sims can grill and eat out there when the weather's bad, so I think that's nice too. I went with this really pretty dark hardwood floor, which is one of my favorite floor coverings in the game. I love using it, and I feel like it complemented all of the other like dark cherry wood accents everywhere. And I wanted to do paint for almost the entire house, so I went with something that had kick molding, I always forget what it's called, but kick molding that match the hardwood floor. It's like a necessity for me to feel like everything matches well enough. So I went with this gray paint, super plain, but it has that dark wood kick molding, and everything just blends really nicely together. I have this big pillar going through to the second floor that I covered with more dark wood wall covering. And yeah, I just really like when everything meshes together nicely like this. And the color scheme in this house kind of reminds me of Raven's house, but less modern. So I really like it. For the kitchen, I decided to go with these counters. These are one of my favorite counters in the game. I think they're so pretty. And I went with black to complement the black windows, the black railing of the staircase, the black windows in the sunroom. It all kind of like, this is like how I tie everything together in my head, at least, for deciding what colors I'm gonna go with. So as you can see, the kitchen ends up being very, very big and spacious, and hopefully it doesn't look too unnatural. I think it looks okay. I actually really liked it in the end. And of course it allows a lot of space for your Sims to move around, especially if your Sims have babies, because when your Sims have babies and they're constantly feeding them bottles and then they just throw the bottles on the ground, and then like your Sim can't even walk around. So this might be a useful family home for your Sims. But as you guys can see, I didn't feel like it was fitting to put a big island in the middle of counters, so instead I opted for a dining table, and I really like that. It's not too big, not too bulky, and it's not too repetitive because I already have a bar there between the pillar and the wall. So yeah, I feel like it was a nice touch. So with the placement of plants, I've tried to be a little bit more mindful of the overlayering and you know, placing a bunch of shrubs on top of each other and like really crowding together things, particularly on residential lots. Oh, sorry, my phone's going off. Particularly on residential lots, because I know it's a problem for your Sims to garden, or it's like it is really hard to just delete dead plants and replace them when they're placed all crazy like that. So I've tried to be more mindful of that in this build. So there are still plants on top of foundations, and those you will have to delete and replace, but they're placed very like there's just 2 per planter, and so it's very easy to replace. You don't have to turn on or well, you do have to turn on move objects, but you don't have to turn on snap objects or turn off snap objects or anything like that. So I've tried to be a little more mindful. I'm really sorry about that, guys. So sometimes I just get really caught up in the way that something looks rather than the playability of it. So I'm trying my best to do better at that. Which, like I said, you know, is probably because I build a lot more in this game than I do actually play it, so I don't think about certain things. So I do appreciate the feedback and things like that, things for me to do better. So yeah, I felt myself starting to go overboard while I was decorating the kitchen, which is the first room that we started with. And I really was like, I don't want this to be another hour and 20-minute build of me just cycling through objects, which is not a bad thing. It's just like, I know that the only reason I do that is because I'm being super indecisive, or like I'm trying to put too much in the build when it can look just as good without overcrowding it, or I don't know. Surely you guys get what I mean. But so I kept the decorations very simple in the kitchen. We have a few cactus plants. We have some pans hanging on the wall, some pans hanging from the ceiling, little picture, and those little like ingredient jars in the middle. And I think that's plenty. A little mirror by the bar area, and I think that's plenty to make it feel a little bit lived in and homey. Yeah, if I can start getting these fully furnished builds down to under an hour, like on the regular, that would be a huge accomplishment for me, because it's one thing for me to build when I'm just doing starter furnishings like plumbing, lighting. I can go through that very, very fast. But when I'm doing these fully furnished builds, it adds on a significant amount of time. But I really enjoy it because I love seeing the outcome. And I also love showing you guys like examples of how you can furnish a space. I'm not gonna lie, there's a lot of Maxis houses which I think I love because they're nostalgic more than the fact that they're like great builds. But there's a lot of Maxis builds that like, although the house looks nice, the space is very hard to furnish, and it's hard to imagine how to furnish it. So yeah, I feel like giving you guys lots of furnished lots will kind of help give you ideas on how to furnish certain spaces. Yeah, so the living room, honestly, the living room, it looks very tiny compared to the size of the house, I feel like. But I also think that the Sims don't really utilize huge living rooms, which is the only reason why I was kind of okay with this. You might be wondering why I didn't just put the living room in that room at the front of the house. And that's because I really, really wanted that to be a big office, a shared office space, which you guys will see later on. But I did play test this house and everything was fine. My Sim moved around just fine through everything. So although it looks crowded, everything is usable and it should be very, very playable. The only thing she could not use were the reclining chairs by the pool, and that's because I placed them diagonally. So just keep that in mind. I did not know that was a thing. I didn't realize it was a thing, but I also didn't think it was significant enough to change. So yeah, just keep that in mind. But yeah. Oh yeah, and also, you guys might notice that most of the lighting in this house is not from overhead lighting. I went really, really heavy on table lamps, floor lamps, and sconces. And that's because I really wanted it to be very warm and moody rather than have like big, harsh overhead lights. I think I still use them, but I just use them very sparingly. So yeah. All right, so here's the shared office space I was talking about earlier, and I just thought this would be so clever. to just put a divider wall in the middle there and then have two separate desks. So it feels like two separate office spaces, but then you have the continuous wall of bookshelves going through each space. I really, really like this. I only added a computer to one desk because this room has many bedrooms, including two bedrooms that look like they might be for a child or teen sim. And of course, you know, they have a lot of homework and they always need somewhere to do it. So I made sure to include a desk without a computer. I put some light decorations and a little column there at the edge of the wall. And I feel like this is something I might do more often because I really like how it looks, and it feels, I don't know, it feels better than having two separate bedrooms just for each of them to be an office, or of course like putting computer desks in your Sims bedrooms, which is totally normal. I just feel like this is a nice design element for this house in particular. So yeah, I think it's really cute. Let me know what you guys think of the office space. I feel like I've seen this in real life as well, like this kind of couple's office space, I guess. So of course I added more table lamps and a floor lamp, and I end up adding a little armchair for when your sim wants to read and stuff. And of course, a few of these objects are blocking two of the bookshelves, but that shouldn't be a big deal. There's like 4 other accessible bookshelves, and I felt like because of that, that was a perfect opportunity to put stuff in front of what am I trying to say? The perfect opportunity to block some of the bookshelves with decorative items. So I just put a little rug in the foyer, and yeah, I think at this point I was starting to really like the look of it. The office might be my favorite part, even more than the sunroom. I don't know, I didn't actually think about what I might put in the sunroom when I started the build. I just knew that I wanted a sunroom, and I guess adding an additional dining room made the most sense to me. And I kind of like how it looks. I also like that it's a bit of a different color scheme than the rest of the house. But yeah. Okay, so when it comes to bedrooms and decorating them or furnishing them, this tends to be one of the most difficult things for me. Um, and I never really know how to decorate a bedroom well. So for this one, I tried to go with like this blue and white theme, and I don't really know what I was doing. I don't know what it is. I really struggle with bedrooms, and I think it's the fact that there's so few things that goes in your bedroom. Of course, in real life, you have things like, I don't know, you have like shoes and you have clothes around, and maybe you have your computer and like, I don't know, things like that. But, or maybe like art projects that you've worked on. But in The Sims, I feel like it's kind of straightforward, like dresser, bed, nightstand, closet, or alarm clock, maybe a chair. So I don't know, it's always really hard for me to do bedrooms. So I'm not a huge fan of the bedrooms in this build, but if nothing else, I do think that they have a little bit of their own personality, each room. So I don't know, I also feel kind of weird trying to personalize bedrooms too much in these builds because I have no clue what Sims you're going to have live here and if it fits like their personalities and stuff like that. But I try to give each room a little bit of something without making it too personalized. I just imagine there might be some random adult sim that takes this room, or teenage sim that takes this room. There's no skill objects in here. There's no nothing like that. No fun objects. So really it could be used for any sim. But this is not the master bedroom. The master bedroom is all the way at the back of the house. And it also has an attached walk-in closet and an attached bathroom. So yeah. Okay, like I said, decorating bedrooms is my ultimate weakness. I definitely need more practice with it and to try some different things. There are definitely bedrooms I've furnished that I've really liked, but for some reason in this build it just was not coming to me. So I committed to the hotel furniture for the master bedroom, a couple of chairs and a dresser and some artwork. and all that mattered to me really was that the colors went together. I try to tell myself, you know, in real life, all your furniture, I mean, your bedroom is not going to be perfectly, usually I feel like the average person's bedroom is not perfectly like super nicely furnished or like perfectly matching. So that sometimes helps me feel a bit better. But yeah, I feel like it's good enough. It's cozy, it serves its purpose, and I really like doing those little walk-in closets. I think they're cute, and I mean, the clothes racks are the perfect object for them. So yeah, I think also I put those little long narrow rugs in front of each door. I don't know if I love that decision looking back on it, but like I said, that weird awkward space at the top of the stairs that's not quite big enough for anything but too small to just have nothing in it. So the rugs are what I kind of settled on. So these last two bedrooms are the two bedrooms I assume would be for a younger sim. They have kind of like a more of like a college feel to them, and I pretty much decorated them the same exact way but in different flavors. Maybe you have like your twin sims taking these rooms, and they each have their own personal style that fits better with the room. I know it's super basic. I feel like I do this a lot, but it is just such a nice way to make it easier for me to decorate bedrooms, because I just find it so difficult. But yeah, this like I said, this is a 4-bedroom house. There were so many bedrooms, and I was absolutely doing my best. I feel like if you have Sims move in here though, you could definitely convert some of these bedrooms into something else that's more fitting to your sim family. But yeah. Okay, so I feel like in a lot of my builds for the younger Sims bedrooms, I always do like the collage of posters on the wall. And I'm about to do it again here for both bedrooms. And I do it a lot, but also I kind of thought about it and I was like, well, honestly, when I was a kid or when I was younger, this is exactly how I had my room too. I just wanted it covered in posters and art and things. So yeah, I feel like this is not that far-fetched from real life, which is why I feel okay like doing it all the time. So it adds a little bit more personality. And also, do you guys like how instead of adding desks to study, I just gave them game consoles and TVs. I feel like that's like every kid's dream, and I thought there was plenty of space in their bedrooms to add something big like that. So anyway, so here at the end, you guys see me adding the ceiling coverings, and at first I used the dark wood for the entire interior, but I end up going back and changing that because I feel like it made it look like a cruise ship, or like it was just way too fancy for what I had in mind for this house. So after this, I do go back and change it to the white swirls to mimic like a textured ceiling. So and here we are now at the cinematic shots, and I hope you guys like the build. I especially like the exterior. I'm still mostly undecided about the interior, but I do feel like it does feel very homey and warm. I hope you guys like the build. Let me know what you think, and there will be many more builds to come, and there are lots and lots of screenshots after this. As always, check the description for the download links and any building mods that I use. This build is CC free, and yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys again very soon in the next build. Bye bye.